Okay, so this is a test. Obviously, I want to have a setup that I can do my vlogs on. Right now, the way it's set up, my camera is actually above me. Let's see. Can I? Hey, might be able. Oh, where did I put my phone? I can do. Really? Oh, there it is. So I'm going to try to do an overlay with my video here. So let's see. Camera. We have a camera. Swipe, swipe, tap. Swipe, swipe, tap. Swipe, swipe, tap. Okay, so this is going to be interesting for me to do because I'm recording a recording. Okay, so can you see that? Oh, wow, you can see the LED. That's the autofocus LED. So oh, is it the, oh no, that's actually the LED. So there is the camera. I guess you can see that. It's going to look so much better with my phone camera. I'm going to actually turn off the backlight here. Whoop. Okay. So now you can actually see that. And I'm going to move this over here because you're going to get a lot of the backlight or the feed from the light here. It's way up there. So for me to talk to you, I gotta like, I'm my neck. But you know, hey, it's Beehive was telling me that it's a lot better to look at the video upward than downward, which originally I had it set up so, okay, I guess I can turn this one off. Stop. Okay. Um, Originally I had it set up so that way the the camera was mounted to my monitor, which you saw in the thing in the previous video, and I guess I can point to it later, but my left monitor had it attached to the corner, and it was squeezing down on these little things. I'll show you here. So there are these little things here, and see that? Now this is part of a kit that I got at a thrift store. I don't have the base anymore. It's in the other room. But it's designed to hold a tablet, a specific size tablet. I think it was for an Apple device, an Apple tablet. The problem with it was none of my tablets. I have the LG 8.3, LG G Pad 8.3. And then I have a Nexus 7, neither of which would fit in the mount, which I already paid for it, and it's a thrift store. It's going to good cause, so I'm not really worried about it. So I kept it. I kind of tore it apart to use parts. And in the video, you'll see the camera has these little balls attached to the bottom of it, which is adjustable. It allows it to move around. And that I used to mount my camera, my web camera on, because the original mount for the web camera broke and it just wouldn't work. It was one of those ones where it flapped down like this and it leaned on the back of like a laptop. Unfortunately, it was cheap and it fell apart. Now this camera is nowhere near what I should be using, but I do this for fun. I don't get paid for this, so I figured, eh, it works. I'm not worried about it. The video, you can see me. Um, so I figured, why not? So I've been using this for a while now. It works really well. I adjust the focus a little bit, and it does what I need it to do. I record audio through my headphones, which are cheaply, they're not cheap, but I didn't pay a lot for them. They're Ear Force P11s by Turtle Beach. So far, so good. You know, I've had them for probably a little over a year, and they have not failed me. Now, the wire is starting to fray towards the end. Oh, it's on here. Right here, it's starting to break loose. I don't know, you probably can't see that. The cable right here is starting to break loose. Whoa, that was really loud. So, it's going to be shortly that I'm going to be buying a new headphones. And this is for me personally. The audio happens to be doable, so I haven't really worried about getting an audio source like a Snowball or a Yeti or whatever the popular microphone is. Maybe later on down the road, I'm I signed up with Razer, and unfortunately, I think I only get like 20% off. 20% is great, but I don't really have a lot of money to spend on a microphone. And I believe their Siren is their, what is it? Let me see here. I'm gonna look it up now because it's gonna bother me. Let's see. Doink. Let's see, it's Razer Siren. Yeah. Okay. So the Razer Siren runs at, that's a Elite. Razer Siren Elite runs 179.22, or their standard. This says standard, 179.22 on Amazon. So Amazon's usually pretty good at pricing things. Now their Pro Edition is, what I would like. It'd be really cool to have, um, and it's $243. I don't have that much money to spend on a microphone. It's not the quality. I'm not going to notice the difference. However, I see here Audio Technica AT220, is that 2020 USB plus cardio or condenser USB microphone. I don't need a large sound, setup. I don't do professional voiceover. I don't do, I don't have 100,000 subscribers. Uh, so my microphone seems to be good enough for what I'm doing. However, dreams can be dreams. Anyway, so that's cool. Those are pretty expensive microphones. I've seen cheaper microphones that would do what I needed to do. Having a desktop mic is probably not the best thing for me. I tend to clutter my desk, unfortunately. Um, I spend a lot of my time here, especially my time off. Uh, Hopefully, I'm going to be doing a lot more work. This desk over here is going to be cleaned off. There's a printer over here that I can't use right now. And then my DVD VHS player. Yes, I said VHS. I have something like 200 VHS tapes in my closet. And I don't watch them because they're not digital. They're not easy to get to. So what I want to do is convert them into a digital format, save them on my monster of a computer here, or even put them on a media server so that way I can just watch them whenever I want. As of right now, they're sitting in a closet. So I have a total of probably about 300, maybe 350 movies between DVDs and VHSs. I like to save those onto a massive storage system and then use it as a media server and do that. And I actually have the parts to make the media server. I have a excuse me, I apologize again. I am kind of sick, so anyway. So it's a, what is it? It's an MSI. Is it MSI? Damn it! Now I gotta look up the parts. It's a G3258. I have in my system, my main system, I have 16 gigs of RAM. I don't need that much. 8 gigs is more than enough for me. So I'm thinking about pulling two sticks out of that and put it in my media server. I have a, let's see, it's MSI, sorry, MSI PCMate Z97 board and a G3258. So I have the motherboard, I have the processor, I have the RAM. So that's the basis of the system. In my main system here, I have multiple hard drives ranging anywhere between 2 gigs and 8 gigs. So, or 8, oh my God, I said 8 gigs. 2 terabytes and 8 terabytes. So I have plenty of storage. I don't want it on my system. I'm thinking about offloading it onto a media server, maybe set it next to my desk, so that way all I got to do is set it there and let it run, do its thing when I need it. I have a 4K TV that is a smart TV. I can use Plex server, and whenever I want, I can just watch the video right on my TV. And the Plex server is actually perfect for it. I don't need to pay for it. I already have it. I have it downloaded on my phone. Which I actually want to mention. Well, let me finish this. And Plex Server, when I first started using it, I was a little confused with it, to be honest. Uh, and one of my friends said, you know what, you just try it out, and I guarantee that the new versions of it are much more user friendly. When it comes to networking, I'm not the smartest person, and I'll admit that. Technology, I love. I can tear apart something and rebuild it, and that's my thing. I'm a mechanical. I love mechanical engineering. That's where I want to be. That's my sweet spot. Unfortunately, I'm a line cook. Yeah. Anyway, so I love tinkering and stuff. And actually, if you look at my Twitter page, I posted how I built the piece here um, for my camera. But my Plex server, when I first started using it, you had to go in, change port settings, and all this other stuff. And unfortunately, Verizon locks down their routers. I was thinking about getting a new router and just using that to do what I needed to do. Unfortunately, that's cost money, and I don't think I should pay more money for something that I have that I want to use. Now, if I was doing something big where I was, benefiting it financially, then it would be one thing. I'm not. I'm just doing it for the ease of use. Uh, and to spend a couple $100s to help, it's not worth it to me. Uh, I don't watch the videos enough for me to spend that extra money. So, with that all said, Plex, when I went back to use it, is actually really easy to use. Uh, I went in, you download the server onto your main system that you use, set everything up with an account. You log into with your other accounts, and you can see all the information. The great thing is Plex automatically downloads the metadata, so that way you have clip art, you have the data on the film, whatever you might need, and it's all on there. I haven't used it recently. Excuse me, I have to. But it's a great little service, and it's free. You can pay into it and buy a more professional version of it. But for me, I'm not doing anything major with it, so it's really good. So definitely suggest trying Plex out. It is free, so try that. Anyway, so back to my camera mount thing. When I got my camera out, originally, like I said, it was broke. Um, and I was like, what, I want to do more streaming. I haven't done any YouTube recently. I used to do vlogs every week, I think it was, when I worked for Outback, and I would invite people to come out and see me as a server, and whore myself out like a good server. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. So I I had the camera. The mount broke, so I found another way. And I took, like I said, I took these two here, and this all was in a kit. Now that squaws down. You can see there's some rubber padding inside there. It's not super squishy, but it's squishy enough that it wasn't going to do major damage. Now keep in mind that's squeezing against a monitor corner. Now that for it to get a good hold of it, it was blocking that one corner of the monitor, which wasn't a big thing, because I wasn't using that monitor for gaming or anything like that. It was just for data. As I was gaming, I might have a map over here, or I can see my stream, whatever that is. Um, but squeezing on that corner of the monitor isn't good for the monitor, so I found another way. I had a stand that came with the kit, and I kind of reversed it, turned it upside down, put the screw on the one side, threaded through the bolt through on this other side, and then screwed this to that stand. Or not, it's not the stand, it was actually the holding part that holds the tablet. So there's like rubber bands inside of plastic mounts that kind of, as you pulled them up, put in your tablet, and the rubber bands pulled it tight and held it onto it like that. There was four of them. Obviously, I don't have four hands, so I can't really show you four hands. But so it went like this and held it in. Uh, Obviously, too big for anything that I need, so I never used it. So what I did is I turned it upside down. So now it acted like feet, and that worked fine. Unfortunately, Beehive made it very clear that if I want a proper angle, I should be above where I'm looking, or above me, not below me. I said below me. That's funny. Anyway, so it was down here, and I was doing this a lot. which I kind of like. It's not so hard on my neck, um, but it wasn't really centered around my monitor. So what I did is I had a 1 inch thick by I think it was a quarter inch or an eighth inch thick or 1/32 inch thick piece of aluminum, and it was probably 2 feet. And I took it and I measured it out and I used the corner of my desk, excuse me, and I bent it. I don't have a vise. I don't. Well, I have a hammer, but I didn't want to be pounding in my apartment. My neighbors would love that. So I bent it. I used my muscles. Anyway, so I bent it and made like a Z out of it. So one angle like this, straight down, and then another angle like this. Put some holes through it with my drill, and then mounted it to my desk. I had a single mount in the back with some double side sticky tape to just for a little bit extra stickiness, and then on the top, I drilled another hole, and so there's, if you look, the threading. This is hard to see in here. Focus, focus. No, it's not going to focus. Anyway, the threading on the bottom of the camera, which I can't remember, is it 1/32? I can't remember the threading, but the threading for it is specific to that. So I didn't have, at least I didn't think I had any nuts or bolts that would go into the bottom of the little ball mount. So I was kind of like stuck, and I went down to my car and I have little old coffee containers, the little ones, the plastic ones, and I have like screws and bolts and stuff in that, so that way if I ever need a screw and bolt, unfortunately my hands got a little dirty. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully I didn't stain my new shirt. Hey, look at my shirt. Did anybody see my shirt? Oh. Hey, Subaru Ambassador. Hello. Yeah, ask me about my Subaru Ambassador. Yeah, I'm such a whore. Anyway, so I went down and I luckily found the perfect thickness or length bolt that was perfect threads, and I was just amazed. I was just like, oh my god, this is perfect. I sounded like a valley girl there. What have I become? So I'm gonna move this over here so I can actually see myself. I really am. I love hearing myself. I'm gonna turn this off. I can actually see myself and look at myself at the same time. Am I tripping you out? Because I am tripping myself out. Anyway, got it, mounted it, and it looks perfect. It's great. Now my focus is really off. Let's see. Nobody said anything. There we go. That's kind of better, right? I hope my whole video wasn't like that. That sucks. Sorry. And I didn't. This is all off the cuff, so I don't know. I can't. I mean, I guess I could go back over and make notes of what I said and blah blah blah. But who wants to do that? I'm not getting paid for this. This is. Anyway, so I mounted it. It looks really good. It's perfectly level with the back of my monitor, and that's amazing because measured once, bent, and I was like, shit. I hope it's right because I'm not bending it back and bending it again because it's probably gonna break. So I'm gonna actually, I will try to add in the pictures of the monitor once it's in there. But yeah, so that turned out really well. I also wanted to mention going to Too Many Games. So Beehive and I went to Too Many Games with his crew of autonomous gamers, and they have a panel going on Sunday. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Ha. Let me see here. I think I still have my thing. I really do apologize. I am so sick right now. I was worse. I was worse than I am now. On Wednesday. Or was it Tuesday? Tuesday. You know how like the back of your nose starts getting dried out, and then your throat starts getting sore because your nasal passages are draining into your throat. Ew. Who wants to watch this? Ugh. Anyway, So I knew I was going to get sick, and I'm sick. So I've been taking vitamin C and zinc. Um, while I have my phone out, I wanted to show you my new back. I don't know if you can see this. This camera is horrible when it comes to it. See it? Yes, I have an LG G4. And if any of you are shopping for a cheap phone, the LG G4 is an amazing phone. And obviously through T-Mobile, because I love T-Mobile. T-Mobile's amazing company. Anyway, so uh, I was shopping for a phone, and I got a G5, or not a G5, an S5. Here it is. This is my S5, Samsung Galaxy S5. Yeah, it's in an OtterBox. I love OtterBox, by the way. Great company. Anyway, so I got the phone, and I had the phone for, I want to say, a couple months. And it started crapping out on me. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is it crapping out on me? And I'm like calling T-Mobile, and they're like, oh, well, go in and clear the cache. So clearing the cache, you have to go in and you shut off the phone and you restart it, and you hold a certain buttons in certain ways, and then you clear that cache through like the options, and then you start it back up. And I did it, and it worked great. Cleared everything out. The only problem is you have to do it almost every day. I shouldn't have to do that with my phone. So, being the horrible person I am, I called up T-Mobile, and I'm like, look, this was after a couple months. I had the phone. I wasn't really too worried about it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just suck it up and just deal with it. 6 months through my service, they give you an option to upgrade. I think they call it Jump. So I called them up, and I wanted to find out how I could use this Jump program to upgrade my phone, or at least side grade my phone to a more reliable phone. And I contacted T-Mobile, and they had pretty much said, look, unfortunately, you're pretty new in the contract. We can't really side grade or upgrade your phone. You're still gonna have to pay the full price for the phone. And I'm like, okay, well, how much are you gonna give me for this, POS? And they were like $30 or $10 or something like that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna keep this and deal with it. A couple more months went by, and I was still having some issues. We were like 8 months into the service at this point. And the phone was just running horribly. So I called T-Mobile again. I'm like, look, we got to figure this out, because I'm having some really big issues with the phone. I don't want to change it out again. I've already replaced it twice already. It's on paper, it's a good quality phone, but it's not operating. It's not doing what it should be doing. And after using it for a couple months, it's really giving me more headache than anything. I'm not using it the way I would normally use my phone. I would consider myself a power user. I can pretty much drain a battery in 6 hours. So they're like, look, Mr. Collins, we're sorry that you're having a problem with your phone. Are you looking for another phone? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I would be okay with paying, because the option at that point was I could pay half of the price of the phone. I had to pay half down, and then just pay over time for the rest of the phone. And I'm like, yeah, sure. That sounds like what I need to do. Let me do some shopping, and I found the LG G4. At that time, the phone was $400. It was like $422, I think. And I'm like, you know what? The LG G4 hits all the buttons. And it's not a $800 phone or $700 phone. It's a $400 phone. I can afford that. I could put $200 down on the phone, or even $150. And I said, how much can you give me for the Samsung Galaxy S5? And at that point, it was like 30 or 40 bucks. And I'm like, okay, so $150, $160 for the phone. I can do this. So they send me out the phone. I was going to make a payment on the phone at the time, but they said, you know what? Don't worry about it. You've been a great customer of ours. We will just charge your account for put the phone onto your account. At that point, I didn't realize that it was going to be the whole balance of the phone onto my account. Let me backtrack. the down payment was going to be put on my bill, and then I would have to pay that over time. Anyway, so got the phone. The phone is a great phone. Um, I had a little bit of issues with the last one. It was acting a little goofy, and I called T-Mobile. I was like, hey, look, it's just acting a little weird. I don't know what happened to it. I maybe dropped it, whatever the case is. And they were like, don't worry about it, Mr. Collins. It's under warranty still. Send it in. We'll send you out a new one. So I had to pay. I think I paid like $40 for the warranty coverage or exchange or whatever, and they sent me out the new one. Unfortunately, the back. Now this one's a leather back. I want to say it smells like real leather, so it might be genuine leather. I'm not sure. But I know the original ones are genuine leather. This was an aftermarket one. Uh, so I had the slate gray or dark gunmetal gray plastic cover. Um, when I got it, the next one, I was putting it on my phone, and I think it bent. Maybe. Because when I try to clip down on the other side, it wouldn't close. You push down, it would pack up. So I was like, you know what? This week I had a few extra dollars in my account for my check, and I was like, you know what? The $30, and Beehive has Amazon Prime right now. So I said, you know what? Let me order it on his account. So I ordered it on his account, and it was 1 day delivery for free. So that's amazing. $30 for the case cover. And this one has, let's see, I really don't want to take the back off, but I want to show you. Um, and I will put the link down below if you were interested. But let's see. Come on, Mr. Phone Case. I'm trying to be gentle with it because unlike the other one, I don't want to bend this. So we're slowly going around. Okay. Oh, look, New Wisdom is the company. But if you look, I don't know if you can see this. Focus. Focus. Okay, so you're not going to see it. Up here, wait a minute. What is this? Yes, up here on this side is wireless charging. And then down here is your NFC. So you have wireless charging and NFC in here. The original back didn't have wireless charging. So when you bought the phone, it didn't have wireless charging. It had NFC, but not wireless charging. So for $30, I got a leather back case or a battery cover that's leather that has wireless charging and NFC. And it's New Wisdom. I bought it on Amazon through New Wisdom, and it literally, I got it, and I'm thinking, okay, God, don't break, don't break, don't break. And it just snapped on perfectly. Hear that? Nice little clickies. And it feels good. It feels good in the hands. It gives it a nice little grippy. And it makes the phone look high end. That leather backing on it. So, if you don't have a D-brand scanner or anything like that, this is perfect. This is great. Anyway, and it works great with my crappy little China 99-cent case, so that still works. But I really want to use this without the case because it looks awesome. It looks really good. I know I should be talking about the LG G5, but I'm not really sure if I want to get a G5 because of the separating on the bottom. I don't know how I feel about that. That's just my concept is, my mind says this: the more moving parts you have, the greater chance something's going to break. And that goes the same for anything. If you try to overcomplicate something, you're going to have more problems. I think that's why Apple was doing so well because they're not trying to overcomplicate. They're trying to make a great product, and they're sticking to guidelines. I have an Apple 5C in white. Obviously, this is the 32 gig. It works. It just does what it wants. Now it's tiny. I mean, I don't know if you can see how small this thing is, but compared to my LG G4, its thing is tiny. When I had it with Sprint. Sorry, but Sprint sucks. Once you've gone to a different provider, you're not going to want to go back. And believe me, the initial, but anyway, so back to my rant. Uh, the back cover is a leather cover I got from Amazon through that company there, and it's definitely suggest getting that if you have LGG4. And I don't have any other things that I wanted to talk about. I do, but I don't have a plan yet. I do want to mention, where's the business card? I don't have it here with me. I'm going to be doing through where's the charity? I'm trying to remember the name of the charity. This sucks. I don't have it. There's a charity that they're going to be doing in November, and I'm going to put the information. Hopefully, put the information down below in the comments or in the video description. That raises money for the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. Now, it's not just Philadelphia. There's other children's hospitals, but this one specifically for Children's Hospital. What's going to happen is it's 24-hour gaming. I plan on streaming it on my Twitch channel. So once I have everything set up, you can go on to their link where the money goes to the charity. You can donate, and you donate, the money goes to, saying, hey, look, he's going to play for 24 hours, and you're going to support me as a gamer and the charity. Now, it's not going to pay me. The money's going to go to the charity, but I'm going to be playing. So by donating, you're saying, hey, look, we like this guy. We're going to watch him play. So one kicker is not a lot of people on this platform streams. So I will be streaming live for it. Now, this is in November, so we have a few more months. Thank God. For planning. However, my goal is to play one game for every hour. So I do have a lot of games, but I want to hear your suggestions. Let's see, Steam. Now, I use Steam. And right now, obviously what I'm playing is The Division. I have, let's see. I don't have Overwatch yet. I have Doom. Let's see, close. Steam. Oh, look, Steam Summer Sale's on. Holy criminy. Now, this says I have 125 games. Not all of them are mine. Some of them are Beehive. So, starting at the top, I have Alien Isolation. I have Antichamber. I have Ballistic NG, which is, if you watch my new videos, it's really cool. I have Beat Buddy. I have Bionic Commando. I have Brawlhalla. I have Dirty Bomb. Devil May Cry. Doom. Dota 2. Dust, which you've seen. Fez, which I should really start playing that. That looked like a lot of fun. Ghost in the Shell. Standalone Complex. First Assault Online. That may not work. Guacamelee, Gold Edition. Let's see, Guns of Icarus, Lost Planet 3, Murdered Soul Suspect, Orcs Must Die. I have Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil Revelations, Revelations 2, Rocket League, Saints Row 5, Starseed, Pilgrims, Strider, Team Fortress 2, Division, and Ultra Street Fighter. So, there's a lot there. However, I want to see what you want me to play. If it costs money, I have more than enough time to save up money for the game. Unfortunately, I'm not going to spend, 24 times, let's say $20. It's $480. That's $480 or more for video games. I can't afford that unless somebody wants to donate that. That's up to you. Anyway, so these are the games that I have. Let me know what you want me to play. I will put the information, the full detailed information down below, so definitely look for that. And let me know what you think about my new video angle. Yes, you can see a lot more behind me. Back here. However, it's a different angle. I'm looking up at you versus you're looking down at me. Are you looking down at me? I don't know. Is it a good angle? What do you think? Let me know. So I'm going to get off here. We're already at 42 minutes. I'm sure I'm going to have to cut a lot of this out. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about the Subaru Ambassador program, let me know. I will put my Subaru Ambassador email down below, and you can email me for that. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'm going to add in some of my car video, because I did some car video. Hopefully this will be published within the next couple days. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And share. I want you to share with your friends. I want you to tell people that you love me and that you want them to watch me. No, okay. Whatever. I tried. Thanks again. Bye-bye.